Hi and welcome to Mrs. MUMMYPENNY Talks. It is 12 o'clock on the 26th of May. Right, I'm even more technical this week for my podcast. I have got a speaker, this thing here. It's got a pop screen. Oops, don't hit it. This will make the sound quality of my podcast amazing. I did a very, very exciting job last week with the guys from Fidelity, and they made it an essential that I had to have a decent microphone for recording the Instagram live that I did last Thursday. So I've got this really cool little speaker, spoke to loads of other podcasters to get recommendations, and I ended up getting the Blue Ice Snowball. Remember that, if you need a decent speaker. It was £65 on Amazon. Annoying that I had to get it from Amazon, but I needed it really quickly. And then the pop screen was a tenner. So yes, bargain. So now I've got great audio quality for the podcasts. So what am I going to talk to you about today? Firstly, to explain the bit of a nice look going on here. I've done some video filming this morning for a campaign for another client. So have to wear lipstick, have to wear my cool earrings. I made these earrings at a Christmas in July event 2 years ago. They're very cool. So yes, I will talk to you today about my spending diary from last week. So week 9 lockdown spending diary came out yesterday. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about football. So if there's any boys tuning in, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about academy football update for my eldest son. I'm going to talk to you about the Fidelity Q&A that I did last week, a little bit about that. My 500-kilometre challenge, which is nearly over, and I've just agreed a very exciting new contract with a new client, which I will talk to you a little bit about. So, spending diary. Let's start with spending diary. So I've been doing this every week since we've been in lockdown. So I've just done my week 9 lockdown diary. It's a really great thing to do. Like, I keep banging on about this, but a spending diary is such a great way of understanding what you're spending, how you're spending, why you're spending, and it makes you mindful, and it will focus the mind on what things that you maybe don't need to spend money on. And it'll also focus your mind on things like bills that are too much. I remember one of the first weeks I did it, I had an EE bill come through, EE, who I used to work for £92. Like, £92, come on. I called them up and investigated it. £10 of it was wrong, so got that refunded. And I was, out of contract, so moved from a £50 a month phone contract down to a £17.50 Simo contract. So immediately saved myself £32 a month. That's like 400 quid a year, 800 quid over 2 years. So yeah, these things are worth doing. So yeah, I love doing my spending diary, and I spend like a couple of hours on a Monday morning, like typing it all up into a document, which I then publish and put lots of pictures in from the week. So a couple of shockers from last week. Actually, not as bad as I was expecting. So Trev, who's my black cat, got a tick in his cheek. I pulled the tick out, but left remnants of the tick in his cheek, the head. So yeah, took him to the vet's emergency visit on, I think it was Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday afternoon. £62 to remove said tick, and some anti-inflammatory drugs and a special tick removing implement so I can pull it out correctly the next time he gets a tick. Like, so we have like flea and tick treatment, but it doesn't seem to work for him. He's like quite a big cat, so I don't really know what to do there. If you know any decent like flea and tick treatments, like Frontline isn't good enough. Apparently fleas have got used to Frontline anyway. If you've got a good recommendation, let me know. So yeah, that was £62 spent there, and then I spent another £70 on a customised skateboard, which I won a skateboard deck quite a long time ago, maybe like a year ago, from Habito. who's a mortgage company. Not the mortgage company I used for my remortgage, because I used Trussell. Sorry, Habito. But yeah, so I had that deck. It's really cool. Like, I've put a little video on my TikTok channel, Mrs. MUMMYPENNY, if you're on TikTok, go find me there. But yeah, it's a very, very cool skateboard. Lots of skateboarders have seen the video now and are getting very excited about it. And my friends, Louise is watching. Hello, Louise. And Andrea and Neil. Hello. Yeah, so my friend's son, Shimmy, is a skateboarder, and he put the wheels, and I'm going to remember all the things he put on. I don't know, like tracks, bearings, I don't know. He put all these things on so the wheels work. So yeah, that was £70. And that was meant to be for Josh, my middle son, but he's not actually had it yet. Say no more about that. So yeah, interesting spending diary. I think I spent, and Gem's watching. Oh, Gem, make sure that Livy watches as well if you're working from home. Gem is one of my friends from uni, and Livy is her daughter and my goddaughter. Like, it's the only female daughter I have. Yes, so that's my spending diary. I spent 420 quid, £426 I think last week, so it's a pretty good week. So I recommend you do it. It's a really good thing to do, to think about everything you spend your money on. Football. So Dylan's just had his new contract through for Cambridge United. So he is now under 13 academy player. He has been in this is his 5th year as an official sort of PFA academy football player, because you start when you're under 9. That's when you get signed. Although he's been with Cambridge since he was 7 or 8. 7. So yeah, he's been in the system for quite a while, and he's doing really well. So he's just been offered a year's contract, either year or 2 year. I think it's a year, with Cambridge United. Really lovely club. Really cares for their boys. Their boys aren't commodities. The football players are, unfortunately, commodities to every football club, but they're a bit different at Cambridge. They're more caring and look after their boys. Like, Dylan's coach has been calling him over lockdown to make sure he's okay. It's that kind of nurturing relationship. I really like them. I'm not sure you would get that, if I'm honest, at Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, whatever. I know lots of parents whose children are at those football academies, and it's very different. You are more of a commodity. So yeah, I published a post last week about his journey, just to sort of give everybody a bit of a indication as to how much of a commitment it is, because there's Trev. Trev isn't going to be able to get in though. Trev could make an appearance in my video. Yeah, it's a huge commitment. It is 3 nights of training a week, plus a game at the weekend, plus sometimes another training session at the weekend as well. So sometimes it's 5 days a week. And we live in Hertfordshire, and he trains in Cambridge. So it's an hour's drive to get to Newmarket, or the Cambridge ground, or St Neots, or Trumpington. Those are all the places we go to. And his games can be anywhere in the country. So we've been to Liverpool, Manchester, Bournemouth, Birmingham. We go to Birmingham quite a lot. Birmingham's not too bad. That's like 2 hours away. Liverpool was probably the worst one. That was like 3.5 hours away. It's great when we get to play the clubs like Tottenham, Arsenal, because they are literally half an hour away. So I suppose if you did get into those clubs, then it would be better on the old travelling. And also, when you're an academy football player at Arsenal and Tottenham, they supply your boots, your shin pads, they give you petrol money to get to training, or they send a car to come and get you. If you're good enough, they buy you a house. So yeah, it's an interesting career, this whole football academy stuff. So for Cambridge, so it's a great academy, but they don't have great facilities, as in they don't have their own facilities. So they use the facilities at Clare College, which is one of the Cambridge University colleges. So it's a beautiful location, but Cambridge Football Club don't actually own it. So they're a tier 3 football academy. But we get to play incredible teams like all the ones I've listed, because the boys are really, really good quality. And of course, Dylan is a really good footballer. So yeah, it costs quite a bit of money to get your child to all of these games. A lot of petrol. Dylan tends to go on sort of 2 or 3 football tours a year. Each football tour is like £250. Football boots, he probably needs 6 pairs of football boots a year. I mean, that's going to get easier as he gets older and his feet don't grow so much, although I've got quite a long time with that. He's only 12, nearly 13. Yes, it is. Now you're back again. So yeah, that's football. I had the Fidelity Q&A last week, which went really, really well. So I hosted it on my Instagram channel. And it was my first sort of Instagram live where it was a split screen with me talking to somebody else, which was Tom Stevenson from Fidelity. Now, it's over on my IGTV. I urge you to go and watch it. It's a really, really great half-hour chat. He is so clever, like this guy. He knows investment inside out, but he's able to talk about it in a really down-to-earth way. It's really natural, and there were some really complex questions that you readers and viewers had sent in to me, but he was able to just answer them in a really simple way. I learned so much. I referred to quite a few examples in the chat of things that I'd done, because I do invest money. I put money aside, £200 a month for my boys to access when they're 18 or whenever they need a chunk of money later in life for house deposits, stuff like that. But it's all invested in my name. I use my stocks and shares ISA allowance for that. And actually, it's quite a good time to invest at the moment, because the markets they're not as low as they were, straight after Corona. They've started to recover a bit, but I think that the markets are on the way up. But yeah, it was a really great discussion, so go and watch that. Right, 12 minutes. Other things I've been doing, my 500 kilometre challenge for May. So I am trying to bike, run or walk 500 kilometres in May. We're at the 26th of May. We've got 6 days left, and I've got 150 kilometres left to do. So that means I need to average 25 kilometres every day from today till the end of the month. Great. I'm going to have to just go out on my bike every day and just go do a 20-25 kilometre bike ride every day, which is going to be a challenge on Friday or on Saturday even, because my friend Neil's coming over on Friday for social distanced drinks in the garden, and I suspect there'll be quite a few drinks, and that will mean that Saturday will be a write-off. So I think I'm going to have to do maybe like 30-35 kilometres every day this week, so I can then afford to take Saturday off. And then Sunday will be my last day, where I'm going to I'll probably end up having like a 50 kilometre challenge or something on Sunday. But hey ho, I'll do it. So I'm raising money for Grief Encounter. I've shared the link all over the place, but if you could please afford to donate some money, I would absolutely love it. I'm donating 10% of my turnover in May to Grief Encounter. So at the moment, that's looking like about £400 or £500 I'll be donating. That's telling you what my turnover is in May. And it's a great cause. Grief Encounter offer counselling and guidance to bereaved children. Something that's very close to my heart, as you can imagine if you know me, because my mum died when I was 16. On that note, slightly linked, I've been doing a course over this weekend which is called like Emotionally Wealthy People, and it is the most incredible course. I did 4 hours on Friday, 4 hours on Saturday. So intense, so intense. A load of theory was downloaded, and it is theory about money and how you feel about money and why your money needs are the way they are. So it's literally it's almost like gone into my head, pulled out all of my beliefs and thoughts on money, and just been like, this is why you're thinking like that about money. And it's all to do with 9 needs. I can't describe it that well, because what I actually need to do is write a whole blog post about it so I can describe it and finish the course first, because I'm now in the middle of a sort of contemplation stage where each day I'm focusing on each of the needs to actually think about how it impacts me. So the first day I looked at security. Money absolutely is security to me. Being in debt means no security, and it's incredibly tough on my mental health. I was in a lot of debt. I have been in a lot of debt for most of my life. I'm not now. So that's had a huge positive impact on my mental health. Having an emergency fund, having a decent pension, all these things give me security. So that's playing to my that side of my mind. And then yesterday it was control. So having control over money, or money having control over you. And now I'm on day 3 today, which I haven't started yet. I can't remember what that need is. But it's a really, really great course. And you know what? I think everybody in the whole world, yes, needs to do this course, because I think we all need to understand why we have particular money habits, why we emotionally spend, why we get into debt, why we have to keep up with the Joneses, you know, all these things which are causing so many, why we have to buy the latest iPhone, the every shade of lipstick going. I was given this lipstick by my neighbour. We need to understand why we behave in this way, particularly about money, because it's destroying us, it's destroying our mental health. It's a really, really important thing. And I'm part of the beta sort of study of this course, and I'm going to be part of the sort of distribution of getting it out, sharing it with the world. So I'm really, really excited. The website you can go visit is emotionallywealthypeople.com. You can go and read more about it. But yeah, I'll be publishing a blog post soon. And I negotiated a huge deal last week. It's my biggest ever deal with Zopa Bank, who I've been working with for several years anyway. They've just been granted their banking license, so they've got some exciting products coming along, and I'm part of the squad to talk about what those products are. And I'm going to be talking about things like my emotional reaction to money and how I feel about money, how I feel about debt, how I feel about credit cards, all sorts of exciting stuff coming on there. I can't wait. So I did actually buy a bottle of champagne on Saturday to celebrate, because it's a really great job. So security is so important to me, and to have like contracts in place where I know I've got regular income coming in is a big deal, particularly when you're self-employed. Okay, that is it from me, just under the 20-minute mark. I don't like to go on too much in these podcasts, these videos, but if you've got any questions, fire them over to me. Please follow me on all my social media channels if you don't already, particularly Instagram. I'm really keen to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram. I'm not there yet. I'm nearly there on Twitter, but the thing with Instagram is when you're at 10,000 followers, you can do the swipe up thingy in the story, and my stories are viewed by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So I can swipe up to look at things on my blog and link to products I like, and all the things I talk about in my blog. So yeah, it will be worth it. Also, my YouTube channel, I put videos up there normally like twice a week. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and just go visit my website. Yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I will see you again on Mrs. Mummy Penny Talks next week.